Hey guys, welcome to this journey that we are calling The Aisle. This is our episode 1. And so in this episode, myself, your co-host, I don't know what I am, Dawn Knight, got my wingman, my right-hand man who's on my left side, which is awkward for me, Mr. Blake Evans.
Hey everybody, how are y'all?
So you're probably asking yourself, The Aisle, that's a strange name for a podcast, and what does that mean?
Right.
And what is this going to be about? So that's what episode 1 is about. We're going to try to, the best way we can, explain what we're doing here, why we're doing it, and maybe how we're going to do it. But we really don't know how we're going to do it. We're
going to do it though.
We're going to do something.
We're going to do it.
We're going to probably make up a lot of stuff as we go. So we definitely ask for your patience as we learn how to do all this stuff, because we are not media experts.
Not
We are
professionals.
learning how
Unpaid
to
volunteers,
Yes, we are learning how to do all of this as we go. And this is kind of our temporary setup for now, in the process of setting up a studio space. But really felt like, hey, we needed to get started. We can't keep waiting for everything to be perfect. So here we are. We're out here.
We're out here.
We are out here doing something. So the Aisle, it stands for Iron Sharpens and Life Encourages.
So clever, so creative.
It's there. I don't know. The Lord just gave it to me and I went with it. And so you're asking, well, what does that mean? Well, we know iron sharpens iron. And you'll see in our intro, the 2 verses that we base all of what we're doing around. But the Life Encourages is going to be a large part of what we're doing here. And what we want to do on every episode is we will have a guest. It'll be myself and Blake, and there will be a third chair here for our guest. And every episode, man, we just want to give people a space to share their stories, share their testimonies, man, and just help others realize like they're not alone.
Right.
I think a lot of times people get in situations and challenges and they think, man, I'm the only one dealing with this, or I don't know where hope can be found at. I don't know how to get out of here, type of thing. So that's a big part of what we want to do. We want people give people hope, encourage people, and show them, man, there is a way out of every situation, and that way is Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
and putting Him first in our life, and what that looks like, because it looks different for everybody, right? Like everybody's salvation, everybody's deliverance is different, and it requires different things. And so, man, we just want to talk to people about it, and just put it out there in the atmosphere. And we're praying that it gives people freedom, it gives people hope and confidence, to begin to rebuild their life or add on to whatever they're already doing in their church and in their community. And if you're not plugged in to a church or a community, man, we're hoping this encourages you to go figure out what all of this is really all about. And not have people tell you, well, church, you can't trust them, you can't do this, you can't do that, but go find out for yourself. Firsthand what it's like to be part of a godly community. It's not this weird taboo thing, but it's in a healthy church. It's people encouraging each other, building each other up.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of my my first kind of take on it. Blake, you got your
I would just say, I think, like, for me, it's creating that space. So I think Holy Spirit really had to teach me at a young age how to create space, because my home experience, as like in my high school on up until like till now, was it like with my parents wasn't a very good living situation. So the Holy Spirit taught me how to create space for Him to come into my situation.
Gotcha.
So your situation may be very, very poor, may not be what you want it to be, but if you invite me in, I can transform that. So I think the Aisle for me too is also that space where we do give people that kind of like window to kind of like, I mean, life happens. Like at church, you want to talk to people, you want to connect to people on like a real level.
Right.
But some of you guys are parents, some of you guys are single parents. Some of you guys like life moves so quickly. So the Aisle is that chance to give people that time to create space for them to share what Holy Spirit's done in their lives. And to kind of like help that encourage other people, like you said before. So I love it.
It's awesome. So I have a couple of things that it just kind of, as we were preparing to do this thing together, and shout out to Dylan, who is our behind the scenes media guy. He will be handling all of that stuff, and I will sleep so good knowing that
he is a pro, by the way.
I won't have to do that. So just some things kind of came to mind. Like I said, ISLE stands for Iron Sharpens, Life Encourages. But as I was kind of preparing for this journey, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be like, oh, we got this one thing and that's what we landed on. This may morph into anything at all, and we're okay with that. Just, it's whatever God is asking us to do in this space that He's given us. He can flip it and send it all in different directions, and we're okay with that. So a couple of things is surface level examination. I'm using the ISLE's 4 letters with these different things. So kind of what we're trying to do here is not even only ourselves, but you as viewers and listeners, examining yourself, taking the things that we talk about, that we share, and examining the man in the mirror and saying, okay, on the surface, these are some of the things that I see immediately in myself, and I need to deal with them. But it's also sub-level examination, things that are below the surface, things that are rooted a little deeper in our lives from maybe childhood traumas, different situations, things that we've allowed to happen in our lives. And sometimes, we find ourselves in these cycles of, man, I just keep doing this thing and I don't know why. And a lot of times it's that sub level.
Yeah.
It's those things that are below the surface that we aren't looking at.
Yeah, that people can't see either. Keeps us isolated.
Absolutely. And so we're going to talk about things like that. Another thing is, I've seriously lost everything. Again, with those letters from the ISLE. Some of us have hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Whether that's, man, I lost a job and everything has changed. I made some bad choices. Relationships fell apart, whether it's from bad choices, addictions, things out of your control, death in the family, natural disasters, all kinds of things can happen that kind of put us in this place like, man, I have seriously lost everything and I don't know where to turn and I don't know what tomorrow looks like. And what we're hoping to show you guys in this journey is that, man, even when you've lost everything, you still have God.
Yeah.
And He has a plan to make your life greater in the end than it is right now. And that's a promise He made.
Yeah.
It's in His word. Your latter will be greater. And so that's one of the things that we stand on. And there's also, I still love everybody. And that's for those people who have, man, they've been hurt. They've been through all types of things. But, man, they're still trying to love people. They're still trying to take care of people. Like maybe you've got some family members that you're like, man, they just can't get right, but I still love them.
Yeah.
And what does that look like? And how do I help them through those different challenges of whatever it is that they're dealing with that's causing a friction between you and that other person?
Church hurt. I've been hurt by my church, but I still feel called to serve, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yep. The other one, I'm still learning every day.
Facts.
Yes. And that's all of us, right? Like, the thing about the Christian walk is there isn't a traditional finish line.
Right.
Right?
You'll never arrive.
Yes. Yeah. It's always a journey.
Yes.
And that's why we're kind of describing this as a journey. Is you're going to be learning every day. We learn every day when we're doing this. And from the people that will be here, you'll have an opportunity to learn from them, and we learn from them when they come and share with us. So understanding that, man, we're still learning every day. We're still growing. We're still searching. And another thing is, I'm still left expecting. And this is where hope comes in.
That's good.
Right? And you want to talk a little bit on hope?
Man, that's just like my genre for life, isn't it? Having that hope. Like, I think I talked to someone about, like, hearing hearing what someone's been through, hearing their story, not that only giving you hope, but giving you a hope that transforms your current situation too.
Yes.
To where you think you have it figured out.
Yep.
Like, oh, I've already like closed that chapter. But I think that continual process, that journey of life, calls for hope. Like, you have to be willing to maybe uncover some things and really truly deal with that. You dealt with it on your own. So there are some like band-aids on that kind of need to be maybe spackled, right?
Yes.
So I
might
think
need some stitches or something.
You might need something a little bit more than this. So, but yeah, having that hopeful outlook too, to knowing that you can change your situation too, and you don't have to do it alone. That's what the owl is for. Like, this is to encourage you to really take hope at the garment and really just like ride the coattails of hope. Like, you don't have to do the work alone. You weren't created to do the work alone. You have a community of people behind you. You have, the aisle is here to just help you encourage, to help you, that hope. Like, it's not just, you don't have to have a hopeless look on life or an outlook on life. You can have that. God's called you to have that too.
Yes.
To live that, you need to have that outlook. Like, you're not living for what's in front of you. You're living for eternity. So you can't do that without that hopeful outlook of life.
Yeah. So. Amazing. Awesome. Another one is, I'm sinking, let's evacuate. And these, man, I think we've all kind of been in this place. Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm like, this is going bad. My life is going bad. My relationships are going bad. I don't know if I can trust this church. All those different things.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I just got to go. And some people have walked out on relationships. They've walked out on their church. It's like, yeah, I can't do this. I can't handle this. And man,
you're right. You can't.
Yes, you can't.
You're correct.
You cannot handle this. But sometimes, man, we get into that flight mindset of like, well, if I'm just not here, it'll be better.
Right.
As if that will solve the thing that we have to work through.
Yeah.
Right. Like running from church and running from God and running from relationships and running from challenges isn't the answer.
Yeah.
And are there situations where there's people you need to get away from? Absolutely.
Right.
And I think most people can discern that difference.
Yes.
So we're not talking about, abusive situations or things of that nature, but, sometimes you just got to put 10 toes down, man.
Yeah.
And you just got to say, you know what, I'm standing in this.
Yeah. The kids nowadays say standing on big business.
Yes.
That's what it is. No?
Yes.
Standing on business. No.
Standing on business. Yes, sir. And just realizing like, man, I'm gonna have to work through this. I'm gonna have to work through my issues.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to work through this hurt. And I'm gonna need hope.
Yeah.
Like what you were just talking about to get through that thing.
Yeah.
And understanding like it's gonna make us better.
Yeah. I think hope gives you that steadfastness that you need. Not just like commitment, but the steadfastness that you need, which is a little bit more than commitment. Like you understand that things are difficult, but I need to anchor myself in where I'm at because God's trying to tell me something.
Yes. Trying to teach me something. Yep.
Sorry, Oprah.
Yes. So the next one I have is I'm stuck living empty. And man, I have lived in this place in the past. Depression is a real thing.
Yeah.
That people have to work through. And people that, if you're one of those people that are either dealing with depression or someone that is dealing with depression, right? Like it's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's especially when you love that person and you want to see them happy, you want to see them well, man, and just kind of walking with them through that season of what just feels like forever.
Yeah.
Like I know when I went through that, it just felt like forever. Like it felt like it was never going to get better. It felt like things were never going to get right. And it just really felt so overwhelming.
Yeah.
Trying to climb out of depression. Yeah. And so you start to lose hope.
Yeah.
And honestly, Blake, if you lose hope, you start to feel empty.
Yeah. It's you kind of open yourself up to. One of my friends that explained, like she was sharing her experience with me, was that, with doing it with that suicidal component of it too, where you get so low.
Yes.
And I mean, the mental health world, we try to say that people complete suicide, you don't commit suicide. because committing means that you did that to yourself. Like you made that choice,
Yeah.
which you did to a point, but it's one of those things where you have to understand the psyche with people that deal with like depression, that kind of stuff. Like they feel so much at one, it's so overwhelming.
Yes.
And you feel so much at one time, you want it to stop. That's all you're thinking about. So you're not going to, like, ending your life isn't something that you're like, I'm just going to kill myself. Like it's a process.
Yes.
It's been a continual thing that's happened. So yeah, just like she told me, like you want all the feeling to stop. The weight is too great.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm thankful for you letting me know that, expressing to you or expressing to me how you felt and not actually committing, like completing the act.
Yes.
Essentially. So like, but having that, that support, knowing that she could talk about it, she can't pull herself out of that. Like you're saying, she can't climb out herself. She needed to express this to someone and make someone nervous so she could get that help. So
yeah, it's very important.
It's rough.
It's very important. And that just kind of speaks on to the fact we cannot do life alone.
You can't.
And we've got to understand that as individuals. And we want you guys to understand that, who are watching these episodes that we put out and whatever other content comes out. Understanding, like, we want you to find that community of people that will walk through things with you, and being intentional about that. Yeah, you have to. And man, if you've got hurt and you've got issues that make it hard to do that, it's still worth it.
Yeah,
it's still worth going through the struggles. I know when I came to Family Worship Center, which is where I'm at now, it's going on 11 years that we've been there. And I was still kind of dealing with the depression, trying to sort through all of those things. But I was also struggling with social anxiety.
Yeah.
And so anytime there's a crowd of people, man, I'm like, I'm out. Like, I can't.
That's Dawn's favorite thing,
yes,
actually. He's lying. He enjoyed it.
No.
Such a great time in my life.
It's like, no, I'm out of here. Like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be around people. And it got really bad for a while there. It was just like, I don't want to leave my house.
Right.
Like, I just would rather stay at home. I don't even want to go to the grocery store, any of those things. And so isolating myself just made it worse.
Yeah.
You know, and so you can't believe that lie of, man, if I can just be by myself, it'll be okay, because it won't be.
Yeah.
You're going to be missing a large part of what powers you.
Yeah.
And that is community.
Yes.
You know, and so I'm running on life support by isolating myself.
Correct.
And so the Lord had to deliver me from that, and it was a struggle.
Yeah.
Like, and even still, sometimes, like, large crowds, I'm like, okay, I got to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Before I walk into this space. But it's nothing like it used to be, because before I would just absolutely refuse to walk into that space.
Right,
I was like, no, I'm going to go ahead and get in the car.
Right.
And y'all do what you want to do. And when you're ready to go, let's go.
Yeah.
But I am thankful that God has given me the tools that I need to stand in those places.
Yes, me too. Praise God.
Amen. You know, and just say, no, that's not me.
Yeah.
You know, and not buy into that lie. So we need each other, and we have to support each other, and you have to find those people who will sharpen you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we're talking about. Iron sharpening. And it's not easy. I'm not going to pretend like, oh yeah, just go pick some people, right? And just be like, oh, well, we're going to be iron sharpening buddies. Like, that's a trust thing.
Yeah.
It's a huge trust thing. And for those of you who may be experiencing or have experienced hurt in relationships, hurt from your church that you tried before, there is no exact answer on how to pick yourself up and try again.
Yeah.
But there is a desperate need for you to pick yourself up and to try again. And man, the only thing I can tell you is to pray and pray and pray, and like, God, I need people in my life. You know I need them. And I'm asking you to bring them into my life, place them before me, put them on my heart, put me on their hearts. You know, the the gentleman at my church, Mr. Toby Bro, who ended up discipling me and helping me through a lot of things, I just got to a point where I was like, this isn't working.
Yeah.
And I know there's something better. And so I just started praying about it. And God brought him to my heart, and we talked about it, and we spent years, literally years, meeting and talking and going through things and working through things. And that began to help me break down those barriers and to open up and to get into community. Because I was still like, okay, I'm at church, but I'm not talking to anybody.
Right.
And so I wasn't healing. I wasn't getting better. But I had to be intentional.
Yeah.
I had to take ownership of that.
Yeah. Ultimately, that's all God's asking. Like, just try. Like, and if you fail, try again. Like, that's the gospel. Just try again. Like, just try. Try first. It may not work out the way you want it to the first time, the third time, fourth time, but just keep trying. Continual. That perseverance, it's one of the things he calls us to. So just keep trying. You
have to keep going, man. Because he will meet you.
Yeah.
Wherever you're at. And he will provide those people in that community.
Yeah.
But also understand there is an adversary. And he will offer you counterfeit friends and counterfeit community. And that's where we end up in the situations of hurt.
Yes.
Because we've opened our hearts to the counterfeit people who are just people that are hurting themselves.
Yeah.
And so they end up hurting other people. We've all heard it. Hurt people, and so giving grace to those people in those situations, but understanding like I can't trust the valuable things that I'm trying to develop with that person.
Yeah.
I've got to find that person that can help me work through whatever situation I am dealing with personally.
And you said it earlier, I think, too, it's not about just keeping yourself in a place where you're surrounded by those people.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to take it to that extreme if, like, you have to be like a martyr for that season.
Yes.
But I said people will wean themselves out of your life that don't need to be there. God will wean people out of your life that don't need to be there.
Absolutely.
But you also have that. You have that will and the ability to, if you feel Holy Spirit leading you to go somewhere else, hey, this is a toxic place. Why don't you let me bring you over here to this?
Yes.
To this. You have to have that spiritual discernment, though. But I mean, talking through people like your community, talking to people like bounce, like seek wise counsel. We talked about that too. Like seek those people. Like, listen, this is how I'm feeling. I know I have this hurt. Like, this happened, didn't really agree with this. I feel the Spirit lead to be this way. Like, I just want to talk through that and like have someone have that accountability, because there is an adversary.
Yes.
That's why you can't do it by yourself. So try, yes, but if you're trying in your own strength, you need to have that community to where like it's like, no, you are meant to try by yourself. That's where you get exhausted. That's where you walk away from the faith. You don't want to be a Christian anymore because you have tried. I have done that. I've done all the things I need to do. But it's like, try again, but do it the way that the Lord intended to do it, with community, with those people.
Absolutely. And it's important to read your word and understand your word, because God describes and outlines what that should look like.
Yeah.
I talk a lot about the Acts church, and people get onto, I don't know if I'm selling my possessions. Like, that's not the point of it.
Right.
The point of it is they did life together.
Yeah.
And they cared for each other. They loved each other. They built each other up. And what that became was so attractive and so appealing that people flocked there to be part of that community.
Yes.
And they were touched at such a deep level that they were just giving things away.
Yeah.
Like, hey, take this land, take these animals, take whatever you need so that you can keep going.
Right.
And so that's what the Acts church was about. Like, man, if you want to give your car away and if you want to give stuff away, go for it.
Right.
But that is not the requirement. The requirement is unity and oneness and being together and working through things together and
understanding that.
Yeah.
I think even like Jesus illustrates it the best with his own life too. He had 12 best friends, if you will. Then 3 inner circle, like 3 close friends.
Yeah.
But there were times where he stole away to pray. He needed some alone time. He took naps. Like, he had time that he had, but he didn't stay in those times of aloneness because he knew that there's people that we need you. People need you. People need what God's put inside of you. So even understanding that with like stewarding your alone time, like the way, like correctly, like it's laid out that way too, so that you can be a part of the community, so that you can find community a little bit easier. If you're trying so hard and striving to put yourself into a community, you're not doing the right work that you need to in your alone time because you're seeking man's approval, and that's not what God's called you to. So you need to really just follow Holy Spirit's like on what community is, like where do I need to be? Where do you put me where you want me to, Holy Spirit?
Yeah. And what a healthy situation looks like, Blake, is balance.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a community where, man, they're just draining things from you,
right?
That's not your group. And if you're in a situation where you are always in need from them, that's not your group.
Correct.
You've got to find people that will balance you and say, hey, you know what? You're kind of needy right now, and it's becoming unhealthy.
Yeah.
And you being okay with that person saying to you, that's becoming unhealthy.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how you grow.
Yeah.
Because you have those people who love you, but can also correct you.
Yeah.
And you being okay with that.
Yeah. And these people aren't going to correct you and bring up like you're the worst person ever.
Right.
They're going to walk through the next steps with you.
Yes.
Hey, I've been noticing let's walk. Like, what do I need to? How can I help you to walk through that? They're not just bringing problems like how terrible you are. They're going to help you and be there for you to like walk.
You suck.
Now, if if they bring it to your attention and just leave it, then it's like this isn't your community. No, get out. No.
It's fine. We're done with you. We're moving on.
Right.
Yeah. It's got to be that healthy balance. Man.
Yes.
And these are things that we've got to put in place to guard our hearts, because the word tells us multiple times to guard our hearts above all else.
Yes.
You know, and understanding that out of the heart comes all these other different things, right? So if we allow our heart to be corrupted by hurt and pain and animosity and jealousy and guilt for things maybe we've done, whatever that is, and we allow that to stay there, we start to get a hardened heart.
Yeah.
And it makes it way harder to be in community and be in relationship, because now you're jaded. Now you've got this skewed perspective on everything based on what this one person did,
right?
Or this one church did, and you see everything that way, and that's not reality.
It's not.
You know, so it's all about having that healthy balance, having those healthy friends, healthy community, and it's work.
It is work.
It's not going to come because you wished upon a star. It's gonna come because you did the work.
Yeah.
You did the work to talk with people, have lunch with people, have dinner with people, whatever your schedule allows. Maybe Saturday morning breakfast is a thing. But be intentional about making time to, like, you know, maybe this person could be it, and take time to build that relationship.
Yeah.
And don't go all in.
Yeah.
Like, some people, they go all in way too soon. And
balance.
Yeah, and then they get hurt, and they're like, well, why would you go to? You went from 0 to 10 after the first meeting. It's like, you probably scared them,
right? You told them about your childhood trauma. Like first thing, hey, my name's Blake.
Hey, I'm hurt. Here's all my hurts. I'm putting them on my sleeve. But yes, build healthy relationships. Get to know that person. That person get to know you.
Yeah.
And share goals and dreams together.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that prioritizing comes, I mean, we're all adults. We're all busy.
Oh,
like I'm too busy. Like that's like, I mean, I'm busy. Like, I mean, people that have kids, you're busy, but you have to, or as an adult, part of adulthood is learning how to prioritize correctly your time.
Yes.
And I'm just a firm believer you make time for what you want to make time for.
Absolutely.
So like scheduling that out, I think in your one-on-one time, in your alone time, really evaluating, like, how do I need to prioritize my time to foster that balance.
That balance, absolutely. Because it's on us.
Yes.
You know, and like you said, you'll do what you want to do. If you really want community, if you really want freedom, if you really want to grow, if you really want to get closer to God, you'll make time for that.
Yeah.
It can't just be chatter.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just chatter, it's not going anywhere. You know, we each have to make up our mind that, hey, in this season, I'm going to work at this, whatever that is, wherever you're at, and work at it with all my heart.
All your might,
and all of my might, and all of my strength. And I'm going to align my schedule and my time to allow me to do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you say the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Like, if my life has been this, whatever it is, for 4, 5, 10 years, but yet my routine and everything is the exact same, nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to make hard shifts sometimes in what you do and who you're around and what you do with your time.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy.
It's not.
You know, I was a sports nut, unhealthily. Like,
can't relate.
If it was on, I didn't care what it was, whether it was football, basketball. Like, there was a point I was like, hockey,
competitive ping pong.
Oh gosh, yes. Like, oh, he popped his goggles off. That's amazing. It didn't matter, but it was just like, man, it was just so consuming of my time.
Yeah.
And at some point, God was like, okay, so are you going to put some of this away? Like, I don't mind the fact that you like sports, but you're obsessed with it now.
Yeah.
You know, and so I just started putting stuff away. Like, there's some sports I haven't watched in years.
Competitive bowling.
Last year.
Wow. Okay. See,
yes.
There you
go. I love bowling. I don't get to bowl as much as I used to.
Do you have
bowl,
a glove and everything too?
I have a wrist support.
It's a glove.
No, I don't have the glove. I probably need it, but you know, you get old, your wrist is like, yeah, this is getting exhausting. So, yeah, I have a wrist support. But yeah, man, I stopped watching a lot of things, and man, it's amazing how much time I had.
Yeah.
All of a sudden to work on the things I needed to work on.
All the time I didn't have. Like, oh,
yeah,
wow.
I was like, oh, I'm busy. No, you've occupied your time with something else.
You're occupied.
Yeah. You know, it can be anything. Like, I was also heavily into video games.
Yeah.
So, like, God, I have no time.
Yeah.
I'm too busy watching sports and playing video games. I don't have time for you. But I need you to fix me.
Correct.
And he's like,
in between these games, though.
Yeah, in between me switching games.
In between these stages. No.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to put my work in, and I've got to make space and got to make changes in my life and in my lifestyle.
Yeah.
In order for him to have room, like you said, to come in and do the work.
Yeah.
He needs to do. So
yes, I think that's what the aisle is about too. I mean, I don't think by any means that we're doing this as like from a standpoint of like we know it all. We're coming from this all-knowing place. We're growing doing this, I think, and really doing our work.
Yep.
He's pulling me alongside, so I'm doing this work. So no, we're going to do this work too. So it's all together. So. Yeah,
I mean, this journey is part of our work.
Yeah.
Like you said, we don't have all the answers, and by no means do we have everything together. But what we intend to share is what we know.
Yeah.
And what we've learned. And
give others that chance too.
Absolutely. To give people that platform, man, to share what they know and what they've learned. With the hope that it helps you, and it grows you, and it challenges you, and raises your expectation.
Yeah.
And raises your hope level.
Yes.
Because, you know, some people have lost hope. Some people have stopped expecting. But what we want to remind you is, man, keep expecting, keep hoping, keep dreaming.
Keep asking questions. That's
keep asking questions. Yes, absolutely.
Keep being curious. It's so important.
Keep challenging yourself. Keep growing.
Yeah.
Man, and just stay in the fight that we call life. Like, don't just lay down and just like, well, this is just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Because God has so much more for every one of us, every single one of us. And it doesn't matter. It's new every day, and it doesn't matter what you've done.
Yeah.
Like, he can still use your life.
Right.
Doesn't matter. And you will see that, man, in this journey we're on with some of the different people that'll be on. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, God can make everything new in your life.
Yeah.
And you can start all over, and you can pick it up right where you are.
Yeah.
And God will say, all right, let's go. Let's go. Like, we're not worried about what's happened in the past.
Yeah.
Today, let's go.
Right.
And I am here with you, and I will walk with you, and I will bring people to help support you.
Yes.
If you're willing to commit to this, but we got to commit to it.
Right.
We can't. You can't be like I was, watching every sport and playing every video game and thinking God's going to come in and do a work. And it's not like that.
Yes.
It's not like that. I think a lot of people think it is.
Yeah.
Like,
he could if he wanted to, but it's not what he's called.
That's not what he's called us to.
Yeah, do your work.
Yes. he tells us we gotta come to him, and then he's gonna come meet us.
Yes.
And
work out that salvation.
Yeah. You cannot do it without doing work.
Yeah.
And it's okay, man. Like, this has been the funnest journey of my life. When I finally said, you know what? I am going to 100% figure out what God is trying to show me and teach me and tell me. And when I made that decision, does that mean I get everything right? No. I screw up all the time. Right?
Perfect. That's good.
I screw up all the time.
That because we don't have it all together. We won't have it all together.
No, not at all.
Won't.
The thing is like, I have said, but I want to do what you are calling me to do, God. And showing up consistently for that. And saying, okay, God, I did not get that right. Show me how to do it right next time. You know, and allowing him to shape me, mold me, and grow me through all of those things. Man, it's been life-changing, obviously, but it's been a journey of, I don't even know what the word is. Like, I would say peace, but peace is not enough. I don't know Purpose. What the word is. That would help, but I don't know what the word is to describe what the journey has been, but it's been an enlightening experience.
Yeah. Semicircle, like not full circle yet, because no.
Yeah, I mean, maybe 3/4 circle. I don't know. It's been enlightening because, man, I've learned so much. Rewarding. I've learned so much about me.
Yeah.
And
fulfilling.
I know.
Learn adjectives.
No, all of those fit. But I just can't think of a word that just encompasses all of what this has been.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
divine.
Divine is close for sure. But then that's kind of left up to the interpretation of the person, what they view as divine. But yeah, man, it's been the best experience of my life. And I know he's not done.
Right.
Which makes me even more excited. Like, I think about some of the things he's kind of placed out in front of me is like, yeah, you know, we could do this and do that if you're willing. And I'm like, let's do it.
Right.
I'm scared, but let's do it.
That little kid sliding down the slide. It's like me trusting God. And they're like,
yeah, it's like a 40-foot slide. You're like, this will be awesome, but I am terrified.
I'm so scared.
It's like, okay, I'm going down the slide. Let's go. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just, I have enjoyed it, man. And I know for you listening and watching, man, if you have not decided to get on that slide and say, you know what?
You need to find that picture of that kid doing that.
We need to find that.
Put it in here.
Sure. For sure. And just get on that slide and say, you know what, God, this is going to be fun. It's going to be amazing because people keep telling me it is. And I am scared. And that's okay. But I'm going to get on this slide and I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
You know, and knowing he's going to be there to catch me at the bottom of that slide.
Yes.
You know, and so that's probably my best illustration of what this has been.
Yeah.
And like, every time I turn around, it's a bigger slide. He's like, what do you think about this slide? I'm like, I don't really want to get on that slide.
Looks dangerous.
If I'm honest, that slide looks bigger than what I can do.
Looks kind of rickety, huh?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know, God.
Is it wiggling? Is it supposed to sway like that?
Right. Yeah. It's like, you remember those old metal slides?
The worst.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Like, let's put this on a playground.
The deception too, going out to the wooden metal slide. I was going to be so fun and burning your bottom. I'm like, bro, what?
This will be great. We'll torture children while they're having recess.
It's probably payback for you back talking. No. Or me falling asleep in that. No.
Yeah. I was like, okay. No one thought this through.
Right.
What a metal slide does in the sun to poor children. Yeah.
Teach them a lesson.
Yes. It's the same as, what was that thing? It's not the merry-go-round, but it's like the one where kids would sit in it and somebody runs and spins it around. I forget.
They have the topsy-turvy thing. I don't know.
I forget what it was called. But man, that was a death trap. That was.
I only feel good at it.
So many children lost
their lives.
So many things. Ligaments. Confidence.
If you sat in the middle, it was like a good experience too.
Yes, the middle was safer.
It was.
Because on the edge you risk sliding out. And man, if you slide out,
My thing is, when
It's
I'm
trouble.
holding on to bars that have no purpose, I'm holding on to the bar, but I'm still slinging off. Like,
Yes.
Why are these here?
Yes. Yeah.
There's so no purpose.
Yeah, you always wanted to get towards the middle.
Man.
And man,
Was it a topsy-turvy, is that what it's called, or something
I
like
don't
that?
remember what the thing was called. But
Is
man,
that
I
what
watched kids fall off that
What is it
thing.
called? He said merry-go-round. I feel like it was merry-go-round.
Okay.
You're thinking about horses, probably, like the
I'm thinking about the
carousel.
big one. Yeah.
Yeah. They call it a merry-go-round.
But man, I watch kids fall off that thing, man, and their heads get under it. And it's still, oh
It's
gosh.
still going.
Yeah. Like,
And nobody's strong enough to stop it immediately. 'Cause
no,
they've been, like,
we're all
spinning it
little
forever.
kids. It's like, oh God, he's dying. I'm
He's
sorry.
dead. Sorry.
Everybody jump off.
Right. Just jump on.
Yeah.
Dang. Man.
So yeah,
I
that's
should be dead today.
that's playground torture. Yeah.
Man.
We have survived a onslaught on childhood.
Yes.
For
Range
sure.
brought us somebody a long way.
Yes.
For sure. You know?
Now we have safer playgrounds.
Correct.
Man, so yeah, so that's kind of what the Isle is about.
Yes.
What we're chasing.
Yes. We're going to have fun, y'all. It's going to be great.
It's gonna be amazing.
And I can't stay serious all the time. So.
Oh yes. Yes. It's gonna be fun, man. We're gonna have some guests that, man, you just cracking up. There's gonna be some guests that make you cry. There's gonna be some guests that make you think and challenge you, man. And so we're gonna try to cover the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be people from all different backgrounds, all different ages, man. And we're just gonna try to give you as much hope as we can, as much wisdom as we can through this platform. That's our goal. So welcome. We hope you enjoy the journey. And if you don't, just keep praying and we'll get better. I think that's,
if you don't,
that's the best we can
get
do.
by yourself and pray.
Yes.
Seek
the Lord.
the Lord.
And he will guide you
He'll
in the
fix
ways
you.
you should go.
I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh.
No, but welcome again to this journey we're calling the Isle. We look forward to sharing more with you, hearing from those who are watching and listening of what God is doing and what you're working through. And so let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Love you guys.
We'll see y'all.